the stage. We're going to jump in, folks, now to our second map of this best of three. It's Sentinels Sunset, where they'll start on defense. Moments away from the pistol.
And I'm just taking a look at those pistol round win rates again. There is a stark difference. One is not like the other. 50% honest from Sentinels. 1 for 1. They like to play a game of Valorant where there's no advantages for either side, right? G2, they're 24 for 12, which is a crazy record to have for pistol rounds. That is unreasonable, if I'm being honest.
And if they lose a pistol, they just buy stingers.
Send there ready for an early A fight. Kind of standard line here with your breach to take. Have that fault line to send out. Paranoia comes first. G2 are baiting out some valuable utility pieces, especially on a pistol round where you don't get a whole lot of them.
Celsius is being pretty conservative, though, on how he just offloads that util. Still that fault line, like you mentioned, held in reserve for the real thing. But eyes are going back towards top mid here as we do see Leaf starting to explore that part of the map a bit more. Headhunter with 6 in the chamber.
And in the meantime, towards A, G2, they are making their move. When that one-way faded and the next one had to be placed, Prowler instantly. Bang knows that it's time to give that space up, that he could get overwhelmed, so he's going to go all the way back towards spawn. Now Neri has taken that forward position, exchanging a Prowler of his own. This execute is bound to come in any second now. Yeah, here it goes. Paranoia. Site taken for free.
There's Lee, top mid, finds himself 2. He's off to the races already. And that dirty stage wall blocks off the spawn side of A, so G2 get into that site for free. Bang aware.
He is so aware. He instantly pings that out. But Jonah should have a teammate to assist. Surely right now, fully isolated.
And Jordan doesn't quite have the timing, but the swing is good. He finds 2 with the frenzy. And chalk up, get another pistol round here for G2. No one does it like they do.
As soon as the sage wall goes down for part of the site on the pistol and you have to get back in, it's wraps. It's wraps. You're not spending all that time breaking the wall. You don't have enough bullets to do it.
And it's so good on either site. You can use it to block market off on B, spawn off on A, and then Leaf unleashed there through mid. It was only passively being watched there by Sentinels.
Jaw's like a little late to go in on the trade in like a technical sense, but honestly it's the perfect timing because then Sen weren't really expecting it and they get pushed by those G2 site players.
By being late on his own swing timing.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I tell my teammates in ranked when I don't try to trade for them effectively. No, you don't get it.
I'm trying to catch the timing off you, bro.
Sean's got the cam over here towards that B site to get the information that their gamble stack is incorrect.
Yep. That stage wall gets them through market for free. There's no way that Sentinels can really intervene here. And a stinger heavy buy for G2 is going to be well appointed now as they'll set these crossfires up on B. Sen likely just want to leap into the wood chipper here.
It still feels like a novelty when we get to see Jaw playing something other than Yoru. And maybe that feeling will begin to go away because we're seeing Sunset in their pool a lot more. We're getting to see some Jaw Neon. I'm just so used to only watching him on that agent. And I know he's talked about feeling restricted in terms of the fun levels. I mean, he's wanted to play other stuff and be let off. The dog wants to be off the chain.
This was that narrative when we first started talking about him coming on to G2. The question was like, was it going to be him getting restrained or them sort of being unleashed alongside of him?
Yeah, unfortunately, Yoru is just way too good, so he just has to keep playing it all the time.
It's like an extra initiator. It's astounding.
But he's let loose playing the Neon. I remember back when Neon got that massive buff last year, Jaw was the first player that really started exploiting it. And it was on Sunset. He was ankle breaking.
This year, though, I feel like it was Asuna who really insisted on the agent on a lot of these maps, and we've seen Jaw pick it up again.
Team Ace.
All right, Sen, first opportunity at the full buy. No real damage to speak of on that prior round. G2 have a very good bonus right now.
I think it's about time that Sen showed us what they're made of here, Wyatt.
And G2 are going to take some space over towards B main early with a Prowler. Take their time working the map.
Really limited mid presence from Sen. They're really playing off of this part of the map. That's what allowed Leaf to get up there on the pistol and find 2 easy ones.
Jaw would love to get an engagement at that range with the Guardian. Just waiting out to see if anyone from SEN will expose himself top mid. Maybe that can be the path to an entry kill for G2 as more util is just exchanged towards A main.
They got the fault line there.
The standard situation with those one-ways going up, and now it's a fast pivot from G2 getting back towards mid. And it looks like they want to go for that full B split, three-pronged attempt.
Yeah. A weird spot for Zekken to be this far into the round, I'm not going to lie. Jaw absolutely unprepared for that. Okay, here's Zekken though, mid, caught by the Stinger, the classic. And now some degree of boba control obtained by G2.
A G2 that are patient right now, taking their time. Narrate going to get swung on, traded out by Jonah, but John is at the proper range to deal with that.
As Trent emerges, far too quick for John to do anything about.
These are two players now with rifles for G2. Leaf pushed forward, has the ability to escape as well.
Weird little off angle he's got here. Might have seen a barrel there from Bang and he's waiting for him. Yep.
Oh, gets the dink.
Chunks him down to 12. Fake TP there. Zelsis has got a lot to do himself. He might try and flash Bang into the side, but he's just too low. And that G2 slowly able to fall back over towards that main direction. God, he's low. All right. Shock here as Leaf will stay entrenched. Time to scratch his nose even, clearly. Not enough pressure being applied to him. There's the tinkle, there's the shot. Bang's head ripped off, but it's up to Zelsis now. Tough situation to get yourself out of, down to 8. And Leaf can bide his time. Knows he doesn't need to do much more than that. And the Headhunter has its prize. Itchy nose be damned. G2 go up 3-0.
He is tearing them apart right now. I like that round from G2 in that, you know, they work B main early. They apply a lot of pressure A main, then they pivot into that split onto B, the 3-lane split, where when you have the Neon, you can use the fast lane to get up top. But Zekken read that situation. He was ready for it. You're kind of playing that off angle towards spawn. But what's lovely from the G2 side is that they really control the tempo of the game. They're able to slow things down.
What is that?
And in that moment is when the Sentinels players start to get a little bit rattled, a little bit anxious by the situation that they're finding themselves in, because it felt like G2 were just going to go in quickly, but they're stalling out. They're waiting, and then they get that trade onto Narrate, and then John all of a sudden realizes they're going to be coming at me from all angles. Like, those players in Market, they just slowed down, walking forward. I really like that adjustment from G2 in the middle of the round. They win out their bonus, in which, by the way, they basically just, I think they carried every single gun over.
Yep.
So their economy is rolling right now as well.
They're playing around the breach pretty effectively. Drawing that util out of, you know, Zelsis early in the round. It's tough for him to really be relevant. I think he tried to flash Bang into the site there in that post plant. But by that point, Sentinel lost far too much equity across the map, including that this trade they lost out on in Boba.
That works.
Now they're down to, again, just brass tacks. We've got a Marshall here. Man carrying it, also by the same name.
So this is the kind of round win that if Sen somehow get it, can just jettison them right back into the game. Mentally, in terms of the economy, it's not a situation we've never seen in the past. Like, this is a potential turning point. It's just unlikely, right? I mean, G2 are playing this in a very stable way. They're waiting out any aggression towards mid at the moment.
Some of the big mid-stack, like a 1-3-1 to start the round, so hoping to trade into whatever aggression G2 might send top mid side, but we actually might see just a bona fide A hit from them now.
At least a take of A main, faking that they could be pushing up there. Sen want to respond by going into mid. They've been funneled into that trap.
Curiosity killed the cat, Wyatt.
Dealt with easily at long range.
And it's the fake of pressure at A that gets them curious at top mid.
Exactly. G2 have absolutely worked them on this round. Oh, what is happening, man? No! Just styles on him for no good reason at all. No good reason. Not one gun dropped for G2. The economy is, it's absolutely out of control, and we're only on round 5. There are 2 players at over 7K already.
And I mean, G2 know which button to press to try and draw out this Sentinel squad, like in different parts of the map. That's not okay, dude. Yeah, that is some stank, yo. Stow that.
I knew that was filthy.
You want to play? Let's
okay, maybe
play.
A bit more insistent about this A side, but again, it's G2 trying to tease that early util out on this side of the map. Tour de Force active for Leaf.
Here.
He just uses that straight away. Got it last round. Narrate going to be but one orb away from the Nightfall, so could be relevant later in this round, depending on how things play out. But at the moment, G2's hope is just that Leaf can patiently stay scoped up on some of these angles and find an entry via that tour de force, but SEN are very safe in their positioning at the moment. Outside of Bang, who, the way things are set up, really has to be jiggling inside the map. Wow, this is a crazy fake wall, but the trip is there, so Jonah's like stuck. What? I mean, I see the vision, but that trip is a little unfortunate.
It pulls two players back from Boba, though, still. They've got to watch that left side push up top mid.
And Bang just has to give this up. I mean, he'd be a fool to try to fight this alone. He knows he'd be overwhelmed if that's the case. Jonah swings out. This is madness in mid, man.
It does set up a straight-up post-plant situation, though, for G2. No chance really for SEN to intervene. Neural Theft, though, gets some value. Sentinels with a bit of information, but now they've got to execute on it.
And either Fade with one kill will have a Nightfall in this situation, by the way.
Massive in this situation. Zekken gets across the gap. Heard, and now it's a nice little fault line. Doesn't catch on the jaw, though. He's big chilling. Able to push up Link now. Let's see a rendezvous off the spot there for Leaf. Awkward place for that shorter to go to work, but Trent now needs some backup. 4 bullets in the chamber. Not enough to fell narrate, but he and Zelsus are low as it gets. And Leaf capitalizes. Now they're all 1v1. John v Leaf. Leaf with the advantage now. Happy to tease this out.
Just wants to bait out a shot.
Oh, man, he's dirty. Topping the scoreboard, a second consecutive map on his return to competitive play.
This guy is just insane.
He's 10-1.
It's hard to believe that with still the success and the performances that G2 have put on, they've been lacking their best player. But he's back, and yeah, I remember why these guys were so damn good. Mental 1 versus 3.
Oh my goodness. And SEN have nothing to say. In and out of the server by the looks of things. Very muted cohort of players on their map pick, falling well behind the 8 ball.
Everything they've got invested into this round in terms of the credits. SEN have that Nightfall to play with. They just haven't honestly been getting enough kills to get close to some of these ults either, which has been a bit of an issue. Like on the rounds that they're losing, aside from the last one, there were a couple that were basically flawless, near flawless. So we're still not that close to getting a rolling thunder from Zelsus even. Now working their way towards B main while they apply pressure towards A, making it seem like they really want to take that space. And Jaw gets punished for it.
Gotta say though, G2's 4v5 conversion's been very good this series. Last round was no exception either.
They're going to wall off markets, and they just have to deal with a potential flood coming from back site. Trying to push up very far. What a shot.
That's absolutely crucial, but John gets his pound of flesh over on the B site. Jonah's entrenched here. Relay ball comes in, he can't test it, and Zekken slides in for the fight.
He can't even help on the flank, he has to break Jonah's wall.
Oh, some spray though gives Leaf what he was looking for. This is 2 players up now for G2. Nightfall already expended.
Last player standing.
It just had to be a raw challenge there. This is falling apart for G2. This time SEN finally scratched something onto the board.
Now you can see the defenders do a good job there of forcing the G2 players into basically all 1v1s in that in multiple situations, not just the last one with Trent, but then Leaf and then Jonah isolated on the site here by Zekken as well, sliding in. And that Nightfall just came a little bit too late from Trent, and it feels like there was just some kind of miscommunication that happens in the mid-round because he's trying to get in from a Nightfall from Market, which is walled off. So definitely a misunderstanding of the situation, something not communicated properly, and SEN are able to take full advantage with a nice backside flood to finally get onto the board.
Last round, Jaws doing this, he gets caught by Narrate. He's not able to get onto the map elsewhere. This time it's 3 up tiles. No top mid control really outside of the trap wire, which is in the same spot as it was last round. Trent noted that. It's been cleared. Second seized in place inside market. The spike though currently rests, with the Fade players, so we'll need to get through Zekken still either way.
Yeah, Zekken trying to do his best. That's a great first kill. Wants to get out of dodge. G2, they do have him absolutely surrounded, and he does get punished. The Trent in the same lurk spot again.
Yep, chilling in the slow orb. Happy enough to be there. Joel might have seen Zelsus around the corner now, looking to try and back away. No, he almost caught a timing. Trent barely alive, but still in fighting form.
As was Jaw brought down to 40 HP.
Spike planted.
Jaw, look at him, aware. They know Bang could be coming. Two players are ready to face.
One is good. Lee's not able to find the swing timing. The rendezvous position is cleared.
Zelsis wants to give Bang something to play off of. Stun doesn't connect.
Can also flash him into the site. He's in a bit of an awkward spot.
Just give Zelsis a smoke to cross so he can actually assist on this retake.
Both enabling each other now. What a paranoia! Good connection! Surely at least good for one. Zelsis though loses out the fight towards Boybrin. Still, it's Bang in a 1v2. And as low as he is, he can't afford to take the risk. Saving here.
Just has to be a save. G2 again finds some success on one of those big B splits where you go up through spawn. And I like that they added a different layer this time, which was Trent coming even later, delayed from the pack to pick up that rotating player on A, which was Narrate, who had a Nightfall, so that's just off the table. I mean, what a tool that could have been for Sentinels that's, you know, been removed. And then the second as well that John dies backside, Leaf immediately took the space. No more Cypher, bet. I'm getting into the site straight away from main. They get full control of everything. They're just little layers being added onto what G2 are doing that are continuing to get them advantages.
We are seeing some adaptations here from Sentinels. This round, they definitely prioritized that market control a little bit more highly. We saw Zekin go there with that overdrive active. Unfortunately, it doesn't sort of pan out for him as he walks into a double face and has to pull back away from it. Top mid, though, is still, I think, an issue. Like you mentioned, Trent able to lurk there as the same tripwire placed a couple rounds consecutively. And Senna being drawn out of position by any mid presence at all from G2.
And you can see John is also placing that trip further back because the close one, it's pretty easy to just spam break it. Yeah. So it's in this really passive position that's
it only catches
not getting much accomplished.
Yeah, it only catches the mid to A.
Yeah. Which is not something that G2 have opted for yet. I mean, I guess they tried on one round with the Sage, but
this is already very different. Look at this top mid presence off barrier.
Yeah.
But the guns aren't there, really.
No, so they're just going to send it on an aggro round, and I'm not mad at that. But frankly, I expect a team like G2 to be well prepared for something like this to come out of a timeout on a lower buy.
This will probably still require them to give up mid to a degree. Yeah, Sen have been allowed in.
G2 are all posted up. How aggressively do they try to get themselves back into mid, though? Narrate is in a pretty unorthodox position.
Okay, relay bolt doesn't quite connect. Zekin, though, he's hit with the paranoia. No follow-up. Narrate goes very low from presumably some spam. Okay, fast lane sets John up there. Zekin was just the bait in the end. And now back over towards market top mid. G2 have managed to find their way into B as a result of this, though.
John needs to be really careful. Leaf is drawing so much attention. Look at the rotation defensively. All of Sen have gone to this side. Okay, John is picking them apart. Luckily for Sen.
He's having a great game, John. Another neural theft. He's second for the half here. Tells all about this move over towards A here for G2.
Bang just needs to live right now. Just delay if he can. Be a nuisance.
Okay, arm shot to play off. A great fold line set up there for Zelsis, and Bang's done well. He's played his life. Eventually he's got to give it up, but it's a player advantage here for Sentinels now as a Nightfall comes in for the defender side. And Zekin may have a timing here. Ooh, that hurts! Getting caught off as he goes around the corner. Valen too sharp from there, and John picks up where he left off. It's on Professor P. And two low health targets in between him and around Win. They're stacked up, but he's playing this to perfection! Couldn't ask so much more! 7-1 on this Sunset map. Nasty Red Bull clutch from the Prof.
Jonah has been really fantastic individually in this playoff run. I gotta say, it's been some of the best mechanical, just raw gunplay we've seen from him in some time. Last couple of games have been really, really sick. John did so much in that round to try to get Sentinels an unlikely thrifty win. They were so close to doing it. But they tried a double face. They didn't play for the low clock.
But back to the default look here, though, for Sen on defense, White. Same mid-trip. Zekin inside market.
Same kind of set up towards A main. I mean, this is just very typical of how you operate with this comp on Sunset, right? Cycling these one-way dark covers. G2 have been happy to take their time towards mid on these rounds and let Leaf work that area of the map, which is what he's going to do now with Market. And he's sightline there being obscured. Wait, he actually goes into the smoke. I was going to say, you madman. Surely you don't go further than that. That would be absolutely crazy. Great paranoia. Wow, and into the slow. He's definitely a little scared there for a moment. Zekin going to have to deal with everybody from G2.
Nicely done. Relay Bolt, though, not catching on a jaw because he would have liked. Zelsa's too late to catch the cross. This will slow things up for G2, but they always cut noise in this position, Wyatt. They happen to play a little slower from here. Smoke's get him onto the side. John takes away with shot, though, through the smoke, and he's very, very low.
All of SEN are getting here, though. The breach is backside. Both initiators now. Narrate in tow.
The backstab from Bang could be huge here, coming in through lobby. Jaw's not ready for it, but he's given an opportunity. Bang has his knife out. Nothing he can do in that spot. What a freebie, man. Okay.
For a second, I went to his point of view, and I'll be honest, I didn't even know what I was looking at. I'm like, what part of the map is this? Oh, there's a stage on top of him. What the hell? That was bizarre. I mean, you called it, G2. They have been so good at controlling the pace of the game at all times, picking moments to accelerate with the Neon and then slow down, and then fight aggressively, swing back out together.
Oh, what?
That is so...
That's heartbreaking.
Brutal.
They need that timing to work for them.
If Bang gets that kill, feels like SEN went out the round, honestly. Unless maybe there's an insta-trade, I don't know, but...
They can't believe it either. They can't believe it.
SEN relegated to a miserable bye here for round 10.
And they're 7 rounds behind. This one has definitely gotten out of hand.
Back to exploring up mid, back to just trying to break some tripwires. It's been the standard from him. See, John still actually just has one in his kit. Doesn't even want to throw one down just for it to only be broken.
That slow orb is very troll when you throw it at that corner. Denies sort of crossfire.
That dark cover didn't exactly reach the center.
Gonna let it go, honestly, but yeah. Now you mention it.
Let that go. John in the cam going to get broken. He's caught in the corner, but wow, that trip actually just works. Jonah just takes a little stroll into it, wasn't paying too much attention, and that's honestly given SEN an opening. Do they dare use the Rolling Thunder to try to convert this round?
Priest thing is, it'll get him up close, Wyatt.
They're going to do it.
Here it comes. Valorant has to tuck here as long as he possibly can. Fast lane gets Zekin deep into the side. That's just where he wants to be. And he goes to work. Valorant gets caught out by that aftershock, and Trent's trying to fight for the Stingers. Just hitting a little diff. Feels like eons have passed, and SEN have won a round, and they needed that one desperately. G2 have already done more than enough for a half, I think.
That was a really beautiful retake. Definitely the best decision to just send it on the Rolling Thunder. John gets a great kill there, but then the ability to get back in and crunch the G2 players. There was a really...
Zach, I can't smoke these wires!
We were gonna let it go.
Yeah, we were gonna let it go, my bad. But that paranoia from Bang was fantastic. It caught a bunch of G2 players who then tried to retreat to Link. They're surrounded. Great retake there from SEN. Kind of retake they just haven't been able to find success with over on B. If they could, maybe this game would be looking a little bit different.
Finally, we're able to see an open hands of Zekin here to control that long sideline down mid for the first time they've had the money to do so.
A lot of damage to Leaf, but luckily they have a Sage. Like playing in the Valorant beta, and he gets healed out.
Still that top mid control. Goes over to G2.
And Zelsis not going to have any opportunity to shoot those players in the back, but Narrate is in the perfect position.
Yeah, he split them now. Look at G2 in mild disarray towards top mid. This is going to buy time now for the players to come out through spawn. Okay. I like a little res action. Valen back, and well, that normally happens after a Sage res, if I'm honest. Very quickly taken down once more. It's just Jaw. Talk about rounds that you need. This will get SEN to 3. Jaw can only really forge out in a couple of different cardinal directions to find 1 versus 1s. There's plenty to hear right now. And I don't think they'll realize he slipped the net. 30 seconds in the round. Jaw has the chance of a lifetime here.
There is just no way He actually hit the lotto with that timing going through the site.
Yeah, he's like Paper Mario, man. Okay, that's one. Now cat's out the bag and Zekken converts. Would have gotten ugly. But even the burlap sack looks pretty to Sen after this half.
That was honestly one of the first rounds, I think, for Sen where you could see them really playing around this G2 comp and their strategy perfectly with the positions that they had towards spawn, the way that G2 have been exploiting mid, having Narrate back here to cut them off at that cross towards A, and then Zelsis running back around to him. They double-faced when the res comes in.
So I guess this is the response to play back in that spawn direction, assuming that mid control will be taken by G2. Good adaptation. It happens probably later in the half than Kaplan would have liked. But better late than never.
And maybe it can be enough, though, if they can get a 4th round on the board to come back. Jaw under a lot of pressure, stunned up, paranoid as well, and that takes full advantage.
I mean, that's a whole lot of saber rattling happening from Jaw.
Then Neural Theft is going to get all the information for Sentinels who are on their way over towards that B site. Second running through mid. It's going to be a massive retake through market.
There's still a cam here on the site as well for John to toggle. Tour de Force, though, is a bit of an issue.
Smoke's being cycled towards Phobos and need to take their time breaking that wall, and Leaf.
I told you.
Catches bang exposed.
Might be another one here as well. If this is just a straight swing from Zels, as he might... What? There it is! That's Leaf's second with that ultimate. It's on John. Valen healthy. Leaf, of course, with the ultimate and a judge to work with. Up comes the Mastermind. It's a 1v2 and Leaf puts in the bed. Say what you like about 9-3 halves. This one has not looked convincing for Sen City.
Leaf is just dominant. On his return now, 15 for 7 on Sunset after lighting up Sen, playing Deadlock on Bind.
Yeah, looking absolutely rejuvenated. He's also refreshed the bank of trash talk, which I really like to see.
Yeah, he
He's got some ideas.
Yeah, under the tutelage of Baby Bay. Really expand his dictionary, the trash talk vocabulary. I respect it.
Let's head down and catch up with Riv, see what he's up to over at our co-streamer booth here at the Riot Games Arena.
Three's a crowd over here. We got Forsaken from EG. We got Saucy's MIBR, Coriano from Loud. We're hanging out. We're watching the games right now. I'm going to start with you, Forsaken. First time here. How you enjoying it? The games is going kind of fast.
Man, it's my first time actually traveling abroad. So yes, first time in the US too. So man, the game I talked earlier, Saucy and Coriano are going 2-1 Sentinels, but I'm against them. I think G2 is going to take it 2-1. Hopefully the third map's coming, so let's see.
All right. I love it. I'm actually going to come to you last. So, Coriano, what are your thoughts? Your first time here as well. You said 2-1 Sen. So, what are your thoughts right now? What do you think's going on?
Yes, I mean, Leaf is doing really great. Also, John AP is playing well. So, that's why G2 is coming so good. But it's my first time doing co-stream here, but I also did Unlocking and Masters Madrid, so it's really great.
Heck yeah, what are you playing when you usually play? So what are you watching and focusing on?
I'm watching like G2 games with Leaf because he has long time no playing, so he's doing great.
Awesome, yeah, he is doing really well coming back. My man, you used to bleed this red.
I know.
Well, okay, how are you feeling? It's awesome to see you again, by the way.
Yeah.
Good to have you here. What's going on? What are you feeling? How you doing?
Bro, I'm feeling sad, of course. I get destroyed. You know, I was here to actually bring good luck, but I'm actually kind of sad. I was expecting like a 2-1. I knew that G2 would play Bind or Icebox against Sentinels. It was Bind. Leaf is back. But I was expecting that the Sunset was better for us. But they can still do it. Just win the pistol, Antico, bonus, gun round, another round.
All right, guys, for Saucy and Sen, let's get a third map out of this series, right? Let's see if we got it, gentlemen. Take it away. Back to the cast.
Yeah, I mean, to echo Saucy's sentiments,
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
It's a tricky map pool for Sen. We knew that coming into the game.
Oh,
Their
I thought you
Sunset,
were going to agree with the strategy.
I really wanted him to say, oh, Sen are looking really good except for their fundamentals, positioning, gunplay, anti-egos. That would have been great. But, I mean, the sentiment, I think, was pretty similar. He definitely feels like they've got quite a mountain to climb. The scoreboard tells that story, not only in rounds, but also just in the dominance of some of these individuals on the G2 side. Leaf is popping the heck off. And Jonah was mentioned there as well as being someone who's been instrumental, if not the flashiest in some of these rounds.
Now, as per the result of the first half pistol, those percentages have changed. G2's continues to go up for the win rate, and Sen's going down. It's below 50% now, sadly, and G2 getting close to 70, which is absolutely ridiculous. Sen need this with some desperation. Jonah just going to fully wall off that link side of A. Can double up with Valor if he so pleases, or just assist towards mid, which is definitely going to be the case when the Prowler is in Gaw's face there. Backs up, gets healed, all good.
Mid, though, firmly under control of Sen. There's going to be a smoke in that market direction here. I think G2 would like to funnel Sen ideally up towards top mid, but they've got a double phase.
Leaf is getting the team some very good information by taking all of this B main control, so G2 can pivot very quickly over towards that link side, maybe try to flood back in. That wall is still active, so it's not like they can get shot in the side here by Bang. They're safe to fight towards the site off this paranoia from Valen. This is a beautiful setup.
Valen smoked really nicely over towards Elbow just to buy that extra time for the link position. Some sound made though on the slow up here. Valen ends up getting caught on the site on his own. Not ready for there to be such a bottleneck here in Jonah P's direction. He's going to get worked on down. Finally a Sentinel's pistol here on the horizon. Unless Leaf has something to say about it.
Second, expect this. Oh, he does. Beautiful tap. Well done. Obviously a must-need for Sentinels. John threw a really good cage there to kind of cut off one of the angles, but in addition to that, I think G2, they had the right idea, but they kind of got baited into going, I think, a little bit faster than they would have liked to, because they end up being the ones kind of all out in the open here. You can see it from Sen's point of view. They're still able to just fight them back from elbow. They never actually fully had to commit to that site. G2 just got a little too quick there, a little bit too ahead of themselves, and they lose because of it. Send back to that 50% pistol win rate. All good.
By now, the characteristic round 2 Stinger buy for Sentinels is in play again.
Well, and if you look at the minimap, G2, they definitely know where this Sentinels team will be headed. All 5 G2 players are ready to fight them on this A side. Big said they've only got classics aside from Jonah.
And over the Neon is those, and that should give away the game entirely. Pretty fast wrap here coming from the backside, but it was a trip that had to be cleared. So Center aware that they're on a bit of a clock in terms of that flank pressure.
Right there.
Now, what do they do from here? They really are just relegated to playing in this site. They can't take control elsewhere, but they should be all right. They've got good weapons for this range.
They're going to play off a Prowler here from Link, most likely. Oh, E3 damage on Celsius there. Bang actually not ready to capitalize. Jaw gets across somehow in a box. Oh, Bang! Down by a right click. This is starting to get to be a bit of an issue. Jaw needs to find a way out of this box, and he'll be caught out here by this relay vault, but no one from Sen is going to be able to dive in there and dig him out. Vaughn dealt with. There's Narrate. Sees Jaw come up. He's shut down. Trent though found one with the classic make it 2. Narrate's got to go big here. Trent for 3 in the round. Surely not. Absolutely ridiculous showing though. Time not quite on the side of G2. Oh boy, they play it close.
My God, man. How the hell did Jaw get that second right click pushing back box? The Celsius was weak, sure, but what is that? And then Trent just 2 taps John.
He's at 35 for this last fight. 9.
That is outrageous. What on earth?
Upside though for Sen, because they take a Stinger buy here in the second round, it's not too weak of a... it's like
yeah, they can still...
a decent bonus.
They can full buy now. This is just a straight up 2 teams full buying economy on the line round.
They definitely wouldn't call it a bonus, but at least it means that they are on even footing here in round 15.
Door instantly broken. Sen, Zekin applying a lot of pressure right into market, going to force Jaw away from that little area of the map. Alifa has been taking B main for free on every single round so far. First time there's really a Sen player even in the vicinity.
Leaf had the off angle, but opts to give it up and isn't caught on the timing as he crosses. Wants to help with this heavier presence towards market, which is going to be given up now. Back to mid, go Sentinels.
Sen have also thrown that dark cover up towards top right mid, so G2 are feeling the pressure of, you know, potential to split towards B from 3 different areas. Not going to be the case. The pressure's on Jaw, and he's dealt with quickly.
Oh, Trans had an opportunity to intervene there, but John's going to walk straight into that.
Spike down B.
Easy pickup for the Moroccan. There it is. Okay, signs of life here from Sentinels now. Bit of a different economic take on this half has left him in a decent position money-wise.
They are starting to catch a bit of fire. Getting that second re-hit into market when Jaw presses back forward. He is immediately overwhelmed right here, knows that he's cooked. Leaf gets one trade, sure, but is then forced back by the paranoia, so Trent is isolated. It's Sentinels doing a great job of getting defenders isolated in situations. And then John even picking up that A-side rotator. It's G2, they're sent down to the eco. Now we've genuinely got a game on our hands if Sentinels can just get a competent anti-eco round going right now. These have been more than dangerous. I mean, G2, they thrifted them multiple times back on Bind. That can't be the case again if Sen want to get back into this game fully.
Great prowl, and that gives them that early information, and Sentinels get the sidelines they want now. Jonah's just able to escape behind that slow warp. Still, it's a 2-for-1 exchange favoring the attackers.
Again, Leaf is pushed out all the way through B. Jonah wants to take a peek. That is mental. Zelsis was on such low HP.
There's nothing particularly sneaky about it. I mean, Zelsis is looking at that exact angle. Still loses it out. Sometimes that's the volatility of these rounds. Over the top is Narrate. So it's just Leaf over towards spawn side with pretty limited resources, but 4 in the chamber for, yeah, this headhunter.
I'd say it's, feels like it's never just Leaf. Anything is possible with this man. He already won 1v3, but doesn't seem like he'll be getting that one. All of Sentinels staring at the smoke. Dangerous for sure, and I think they used more resources than they certainly would have liked to win a thrifty round, but I think if you're among the Sen City, you will certainly take that over what was happening on the Thrifties back on Bind.
Yeah, that was like a big fixture of that game, was those, you know, far too many thrifty rounds against Sentinels than they would have liked to see. It really threw the economy for a loop. That round, a good chance for Sens to stabilize.
John is having a map, 17 kills right now. And back
on the Sentinel.
Yeah, back to the Sentinel, making that role swap for this stage to his original position. The Sentinels team back in 2024.
It's getting a bit frothy here in mid. I think, yep, we've heard it. Jaw knows he's going to have heavy contact up close. Second up with the Phantom is just able to make a more comfortable adjustment. And John mentioned in Toronto, we actually felt it was better for him to call as an initiator player. He was in the action, but now he can almost be more individualistic, focus on himself in some of these moments.
Right there. It looked like, you know, as per Zelsis' positioning, what was happening on the minimap, that he was positioned to fault line in the market, so Sen could push in there, but they have other ideas at this point. B main is walled off as well, so they can't easily split into that site, and with about a minute left, they're just going to take their time. Going back towards mid, pressuring a little bit here towards that A side as well, keeping their options open across the map.
This round is worth 2. Big time, especially because Sentinels are sitting on a rolling thunder.
Now that G2 economy is horrific. Now to keep, I guess, just calling back to Bind. Those 4v5s, G2 were able to convert half of them in that series. Sen cannot allow that if they want to get the victory on their map pick here and take this to Haven. They're grouped up in B main for the hit. There are only 20 seconds left on the clock. Here comes that rolling thunder. Jonah wants to stop things. He's getting in through the smoke.
The slow orb, though, is still a factor. Bang's having a TP pass it on. This gives Jonah enough time to spray his wayward. It's ham-fisted, but it catches second regardless. Got stall potential's been massive. Jonah here might just take the fight. Yeah, he walks out of the smoke. It's a little bit ugly, I won't lie. But still, it's a round win for G2. Their new time was on their side. They'll take ugly at this point.
Down a player and still able to win because Sen almost felt like they thought they had too many options. You know, like 50 seconds on the clock and they're starting to work back towards A. They're waiting out the wall in B main. We're watching towards mid. It's like, oh, we're pivoting back. Yeah, and then we're playing against a Sage. They're slowed. They can't even really get in quickly off the Rolling Thunder. There was a great paranoia that caught on to second. Just too much time wasted in that mid-round trying to figure out how they wanted to close things out. And that is just ultimately their undoing.
There's too much stall to punish you for those slow rounds. You've got to be more decisive. Sen this time with the mandate to make better use of these last remaining minute and a half.
This camera from John is well positioned to get some good info towards top mid and market. Will know for a guarantee if anyone is going to be trying to push onto him.
G2 have managed to build up 5 ultimates just quietly.
Sen are really just posted up in positions waiting out any re-clears from G2. Maybe someone that'll poke around that they could get a kill on. This timing is just barely off for a second because Jaw is actually just forward. They're going to meet each other, but he's just too sharp.
And those are the two parts of these teams that do find those early round re-clears. This is awkward, yeah, okay. We'll just be rendezvousing out of there. This will allow for some control of market. Jonah, though, is entrenched on this B site proper.
They have to cross this, and John doesn't have another cage. They don't have a smoke for this right now. Zelsis and John are just isolated in market, but Narrate's in back sight. No! Why does he not get it?
Bell comes to the rescue. A massive fumble there for Narrate. That could cost them dearly. Jonah, though, sharp for it. This time he's given a second lease on life, and he doesn't waste it. Zelsis known and noted with that mark on him. With 10 seconds left, there's nothing for him to do. He'd like to extricate himself, I think, with his gun intact and take another from Valen here, but that's all he's going to be able to do. This is going to see SEN go to a pretty ugly bye in round number 19, folks.
Zelsis just had no options. He was stuck in a box towards the market because the Leaf was watching down that angle, scoped in with the tour de force. They didn't have a cage to cross, didn't have a smoke to cross. Narrate gets in sight, and that timing was great, but I mean, random spam from Valen. I can't believe he didn't get the kill somehow prior to that even. Oh, that's brutal, man.
He must have known Narrate was crossing the site in that way.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jonah turned, saw him. He was on the mini-map as well then, so...
That's ridiculous.
Brutal way to lose for SEN. Oh, Jaw. Back-to-back first kills. A pressure is absolutely denied.
And I'm sorry, but SEN have to force yet again next round, and it won't be much prettier than this. There's the C's. No one there to catch it. Jaw. I think he's got the scent of blood in his nostrils. Trent tries to find a timing. Ooh, guys, the spacing. That's a bit to be desired. And now neural theft will be active. A res hit. Jonah might have to swing off this. Yeah, he has to. That'll be the round here for G2.
Man, you can see Zelsis. He tried to strafe, reposition, get the crosshair for that swing, but it's so tough to do that.
This is pretty muddy stuff, these last couple rounds.
It really is. G2 go for a very risky refight. Jaw sliding back in. Almost their undoing, but just having the res is too much to handle for Zelsis.
Get your stats, Jordan! Get your stats!
This is it for Sentinels. They've got a Rolling Thunder to play with. They have to string 5 rounds in a row together at this point. G2 are looking utterly dominant with Leaf back in the roster. He has just been effortlessly dismantling SEN, their top competition on back-to-back maps.
And Zelsis is the key player in this round. It's Rolling Thunder they're going to have to rely on. Very passive A-side hold, though, for G2, owing to the fact they've triple-stacked market.
And it looks like they want to re-clear already in the mid-round.
This is a lot of information.
Have constantly been pushing out of B main, pushing down mid, getting all of the info. Their map control game has just been suffocating.
If there's a cancel called here for SEN for any reason, they're going to run straight into Jaw as well. They've got to commit to this one way or another. Is he aftershock?
In a little bit of trouble, does have to teleport away, so give up that close position.
Bang definitely ready for that upper angle.
Yeah, Leaf wanted to get on that and see if he could find a kill. Listen, we already talked about it, but we are just looking at Zelsis. It's about this Rolling Thunder getting the absolute maximum value for SEN to stay in this game.
He is set up to disrupt, to push both from Link and from Spawn. This is probably the best spot for the Breach to be in. Here comes a Rolling Thunder, but Jaw's already won the fight on the bank. Now it's a timer for SEN. Not just a spike, detonation, but of course that wrap from the backside. Jaw's still active now, caught out as he tries to get onto the side. The timing's not there, a little staggered out as Bang sends another one packing. 4 kills to the Guardian. And SEN gasp for air. 5 health left on their last play. They stay alive in the series.
Beautiful headshots from Bang individually, making the difference. Oh, that first snap on the Leaf is just gorgeous as well. Perfect crosshair placement. God, man, that is
very economical.
Gonna look real nice in the highlight reel.
Come on!
No chances now for G2 to close this out.
I think Sen are hoping that some Haven highlights make it into the reel as well, if you know what I'm saying. 4 more rounds to take us to overtime.
G2 are on an eco round, and they are so dangerous with them. It feels like you might as well just be going up against a full buy when it's G2. Especially when they have stingers, especially when Leaf has a headhunter as well.
I got a bad feeling about this scoop. Okay, Leaf a little ahead of the rest of them. Trying to follow it up, man. This is perfect from their 8.
These guys should just be...
Get
the Vandals out of here, bro. Yeah, just keep buying Guardians, man. What are we talking about? Better anti-ecos with those.
Getting some Coach Nismo sessions, you know what I'm saying?
Bang is out of there, but that's fine. He can just group up with the rest of the team, head over towards B.
Shouldn't be a whole lot else to say for G2 in a round like this. The stack over towards lobby falls flat. Jonah P only has a sheriff over at this site. He's forced out of it by that haunt. All the real estate that Sen could ask for. Now it's how they develop it.
Spike planted.
Eric gonna get the plant. Not min-maxing orbs. Come on, fellas. It is late in the house.
Staying alive, maybe a little high on the priority list. Well, that is true. You already had that Nightfall built.
All good. G2 that just going to be looking for any amount of damage at this point, but it shouldn't be too relevant. If they do go in, you can see Bang is ready for that paranoia to be sent out.
Yep, that connects. Ends up being a pretty anticlimactic situation that was set up there. Rather on the backstab timings, Elsis is able to respond. The Bulldog bark and bite.
He would love to get another kill, maybe a chance at a Rolling Thunder super late into the half, but Neural Theft for John relevant as well, just a few orbs away. So we might get to a point where Sen do actually have some pretty significant ultimates to play with here to close out regular time, bring it to OT. It is possible.
Then again, this round basically rises and falls on the play that happens really early.
On every round.
Where the pop out of lobby for G2 is a bit staggered. The spacing isn't there, and it's an easy pick-off for Narrate. Timeout call for G2. Probably pretty mindful that they are walking into a Nightfall round from Sentinels, and they themselves are in a bit of a trough in terms of their impact ultimates. Quite a few away. I think they've got that Omen ult, and a few orbs into Jorgamo's pocket would give them an overdrive, but really, they need to be looking elsewhere for their edges this round.
Waiting to see what Assistant Coach Baby has to say. He's going to step into the mix there in the back. No, it is cool to see him still be so involved with the team. It's a fun arc. This is the most fun G2 arc that we've had so far.
That's right. They really, I think they really incorporated elements of Baby Bay's mindset. I think like Josh actually says this in an interview that, you know, they are trying to be solutions oriented in the absence of Leaf and really try and focus on the fun aspect of the game. The fact that they can do that and also deliver results to get into a match like this is huge. And Josh says he's thinking we'll be back. Leaf will come back and we will be better than ever.
And that they've kind of found new ways to keep the morale high and the energy up, and the way that Dre had been operating with the team, learning from him in that way. All right. Can G2 close out this game, or will we get another round? Sentinels have a Nightfall to try to get this one across the finish line. Leaf is going to be pushed off of that angle early. Look at the minimap, though. G2 very stacked up towards this A side. 4 players, in fact.
We may start seeing Jorgamo get exploratory out of B and maybe yield some more information about how Sen is set up, because they are very A-biased here. And yet, G2 are drifting to the other side of the map. Very much playing off this A site.
They don't really have any information, and by that I mean they have no information towards B main. For all G2 know, it could be taken. Sen could be pressed up very close there, but it's going to be an A hit coming through. Nightfall does connect onto Leaf. It doesn't feel like he needs to get off that angle just yet. This man is full of confidence, but why not? He can teleport at a moment's notice, so the site is now vacant, but all of G2 will be in position to go for this full 5-on-5 retake quite early. They've already been rotating over.
But there's no flank pressure for the defenders. Jaw is not in that backstab position at all. So they're going to have to divvy themselves up here between Link and Spawn side and try and make a fight of it. Decker loses out. Jaw has the backup he needs, and Valen just stops Celsius instantly. Bang now definitely starting to feel the pressure, and I would too. Slow orb in the way. It's going to make back up from elbow. Harder to come by. And Jaw finds his third. Not even the Mastermind can stop G2 now. And they've wrapped it up, folks. Top seed, heading into our grand finals. It's going to go a heck of a long way, and Leaf is looking better than ever.
They are so good. Their understanding of the game and the pace is just fantastic. They get in there for that retake before any of the utility from Sentinels could be cycled back up on their initiators. They just hit the gas and destroy them on the site. Jaw ends up dropping 20 on that map, 19 for Leaf. This is really some of the best form from Jaw we have seen all year on this G2 team in consistency. He has been a menace on this playoff run, and really, it felt like the performance today from Leaf, which was superb, was honestly effortless. It didn't feel like some kind of grand return. It honestly kind of just felt like business as usual, which for him is greatness.
Yeah, he didn't need fanfare, right? He stepped back onto the stage to put his money where his mouth is. And I think the story of this game goes back even to the map veto. For some reason, Sentinels do not want to pick Lotus in this series. They choose to play Sunset after naturally having their Corrode taken away. So G2 gleefully banned Lotus as well in that second wave, and we end up with Bind, which we don't know what to expect from Sentinels. They've said they need to expand their map pool, but I don't know if we've seen the fruits of their labor there yet. I think there's still a